Hello and welcome to another episode of Medill Newsmakers. I'm Irene Chang. May was Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, created to celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of the AAPI community in the U.S. But this year, AAPI Heritage Month came in the wake of horrific attacks against Asian Americans, including the shooter in Atlanta who targeted and killed 6 Asian women in March. While the Atlanta murders were the most high-profile case of anti-Asian hate in 2021, attacks on Asian Americans began last year and have not stopped since. The organization Stop AAPI Hate shows that Asian American communities across the U.S. still grapple with hate crimes. Take a look. A dark day in American history. People everywhere mourned the victims of the Atlanta shooting. The horrific Atlanta murders sparked national conversation on anti-Asian hate. But Asian Americans had long been victims of violent and racist incidents since last year when the COVID-19 pandemic began. Stop AAPI Hate began tracking reports of Asian American discrimination since March of last year. The national report for the month of May shows data from 6,603 incidents reported to Stop AAPI Hate from March 19, 2020 to March 31, 2021. Verbal harassment and shunning are the 2 largest categories of total incidents reported, with physical assault coming in third. Most forms of hate occur in public places like parks and businesses, and 64.8% of all incidents are reported by women, making them a large majority of victims. Chinese individuals report far more hate incidents than any other racial or ethnic group, making up almost 44% of total data. Koreans are the second most targeted group at almost 17%. President Biden said that these attacks represent hate that hides in plain sight.
And too often, it is met with silence. Silence by the media, silence by our politics, and silence by our history.
Up next, this group looks to break Asian stereotypes by teaching the community a thing or two about self-defense. Since March of last year, Asian Americans have been targets of physical assault. The elderly have especially been violently beaten, sometimes as victims of a robbery and sometimes just for no reason. One organization in San Francisco empowers Asian Americans of all ages with self-defense resources. Breaking both stereotypes and language barriers. Asians Are Strong is an organization that signals to attackers, watch out.
First of all, it sucks that we even have to think about putting out content about this stuff, but it's like someone needs to do it.
Hudson Liao is the founder of Asians Are Strong. He quit his full-time tech job in San Francisco to teach the Asian American community self-defense strategies.
I watch a lot of the videos of the attacks and try to find the ones where how can we help? If they were training, what could they have done?
With their gym training and martial arts backgrounds, Liao and AAS volunteers post helpful videos on Instagram. Most are situation specific, like this one of a woman with a stroller.
I want to position my body, right, so that I can use my outside leg to kick him. I'm going to use the stroller as balance for me.
While many of their videos go viral on social media, Liao says that he had to get creative to reach the older Chinese community.
And I think it's what resonates with Chinese people, right? Talking about messaging, in Chinese, don't get picked on. You say it you don't have to fight, just don't get picked on, right?
In order to connect with the elderly, he hosted a training session in Cantonese, the Chinese dialect many residents speak in San Francisco's Chinatown. The group aims to defy the stereotypes that Asians are timid and passive people who are easy targets for perpetrators.
Our cry, like, we are strong, hands down, full stop. And it's to remind the rest of the world, don't pick on us. Like, wait, you're about to learn one day.
The name is both a message to the world and to Asians themselves, a reminder that Asians are strong. And we have Hudson Liao, the founder of Asians Are Strong, here with us today. Hudson, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So we've talked a lot about self-defense strategies and resources, but we haven't really touched on the root cause for all of this, which is anti-Asian hate. How does your organization address the actual problem of targeted anti-Asian violence?
Oh, how we're solving racism. Okay, that should be simple enough. But trying to make it lighthearted in a sense of a really dire situation. Our main thing is to really focus on the community first and empower the community. The self-defense isn't the solution for racism, but we know that people aren't mentally safe right now. People are living in fear. Our community is living in fear. There's a sense of helplessness, and to combat a lot of this traumatic imagery that we're seeing on social media and in the news of people getting attacked, we felt it's really important to help our community feel safer, feel more empowered by showing them more positive imagery of us taking care of ourselves and each other. And that's where it comes from. And so first off is to empower the community through personal safety so that we can empower the individual so that they can engage the rest of the community. And if we can engage the community, we can build a movement. If we can build a movement, we can make the change that we need. Mm-hmm. But it starts with us first. It starts with the community first. And that's where a lot of our efforts is on the ground, grassroots, in the community. We just did a self-defense workshop in Chinatown where I was butchering Cantonese to try to teach the aunties and grandmas out there. But man, did we have a lot of fun to see the communities do it. Like, I'm Cantonese, but I'm not great at speaking it. And there's not a lot of direct translations from self-defense. So some of those words were kind of lost, but they got the point. It was really fun to work with the community. And then the other side of it is to change the narrative of why we're getting attacked in the first place. That's largely where the name Asians Are Strong comes from, is to break this model minority myth, this passive, group, to really change that people stop attacking us. Self-defense and bystander intervention, those are techniques and skills that you're using in the worst case scenario. You're already being attacked. And so a lot of ours is to work with other community groups, work with other groups out there so that we can actually work together and change some of the social narratives so that groups like the Asian community, the AAPI community, and other communities stop being attacked by other groups.
Right. Yes, thank you. And so Asians Are Strong, the organization is currently located in the Bay Area. As you said, we did see a lot of videos on Instagram of teaching self-defense classes, especially in Chinatown. Do you plan on expanding nationally or to other cities like Chicago?
Yeah, absolutely. We really do. So we're literally just filing our nonprofit so we raise money to get out there to build more of a physical footprint, physical community. I think what we learned in the time of COVID, where everyone's distanced, that the loss of this physical community is adding to a lot of the problems out there, because people don't feel like they're together. And one of our missions is to rebuild that type of community, that feeling, that sense of almost family with each other. And it's global. Hopefully we get to all the big major cities where this problem is more prevalent. And in each one of those, establish our footprint and work with the communities that are already established in those cities and bring more awareness and to bring a lot of positivity there too.
Awesome, yeah. And so with the attacks still occurring, groups like yours are symbolic of communities fighting back. So what is your message to both perpetrators and victims of hate crimes to kind of wrap it all up?
This is a PG-13 show, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, the thing I want to say to the perpetrators are a little bit different, but number one, I mean, the gut reaction is just stop. Be better. You are better than this. There's no point of you attacking another group for any reason, period. That's a full stop. Now, number two is for the other groups of people of color attacking other groups of people of color. It's like, what is wrong with you? You are part of the problem now. I want those group of people, those perpetrators of other people of color, attacking other people of color, to understand they are perpetuating hate, not on other groups, but on themselves as well. I mean, you people of color, it's not sugarcoating. Don't look around. Don't be like, it's not me. It is you. If you have any type of way or feel any type of way towards another group of person, you're a racist. You are a racist. And if you don't want racism on you, then you can't have it on other people. You being part of this problem is putting your family at risk for other hate crimes. You are putting your grandmother, your mom, your sister, your grandfather, they're at risk because of your racist behaviors is perpetuating more racist behavior. So if any of those attacks happen on your family, you are part of that problem. I gotta switch my mind a little bit for the victims.
Yes, thank you so much again, Hudson, for coming and for your insight on this crucial discussion. Thank you again.
Have a good day.
Coming up, this new law transforms how hate crimes are reported and investigated. The COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act was signed into law just in time for AAPI Heritage Month. Experts say this is the first hate crime bill that Congress has passed in a decade.
To all of the leaders here, thank you. Thank you. To the members of our United States Congress on both sides of the aisle who helped pass the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, thank you.
On May 20th, President Biden signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law. Senator Mazie Hirono and Congresswoman Grace Meng co-authored the bill to combat the recent surge in pandemic-related hate crimes.
For over a year, against the backdrop of a raging COVID-19 virus and an economic crisis, Asian Americans have been fighting an additional pandemic, the virus of hate and bigotry.
The president said the bill passed the Senate 94-1 and 364-62 in the House of Representatives. PBS NewsHour called it a rare moment of bipartisanship.
And a majority of Republicans, not just a few, but a majority of Republicans in the Senate and the House voted for this bill.
This final bill acknowledges the challenges of the Asian American community and names the victims of the Atlanta shooting. It offers guidance for law enforcement to establish online reporting of hate incidents and expand public education campaigns. It also provides grants for state-run hate crime hotlines and proposes new requirements for the Attorney General on data collection. Signing the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law is a significant step in the right direction, but not the final solution. The bill still has gaps. For one, it does not address how to define a hate crime.
Some Republicans have concerns about the definition of hate crimes stepping into free speech territory, and some Democrats say that maybe police are not paying enough attention to hate crimes as it is.
There may be a more tangible impact later on as the law is taken into effect, but passing the bill is still symbolic for the Asian American community. As Representative Grace Meng said, we're at a galvanizing moment where we say loud and clear that we are as American as anyone else in this country, and we will be seen as invisible no more. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching Medill Newsmakers. I'm Irene Chang.